Hi guys, this is Lisha from Scarlet Creations, and I'm back with a new video. This is round, or not round. This is game 5, cinco, of the Tarot March Madness, the 5th game in my Sweet 16 decks going up against each other. And spoilers, if you haven't watched the previous videos, the winners, I list them here on my tablet and my digital tarot journal. Tarot March Madness. The next two are The Only Time Will Tell Oracle versus the Sea Soul Journeys Oracle. So let's get into it. Let's speak about it. Okay, so we have The Only Time Will Tell Oracle by Jessica Bott. This is an indie deck, I think. And it might be the first indie deck. And this was in 16th place in the rankings. And it's a deck I understand, but it's in 16th place. I don't use it. I just don't. I've used it a couple of times for aesthetics because there are some pretty beautiful cards, but not very often at all. Beyond that, just for photos. And sorry about the glare. I'm just trying to make sure you can see these cards. There's not much happening on them at all, really. So, and then our challenger, or the Sea Soul Journey Oracle cards. This is by Pippa Best. Not indie. Maybe it is indie. This is by Welbeck Publishing. This is a foreign publisher and not a major one, so I don't know. But yeah, it's all about the sea, the ocean, and one of my most recent purchases, and it ranks in 8th place. This is pretty straightforward. The guidebook helps you understand, and I'm currently working through a year-long practice with this deck. So we'll come back to that. All right, as a reminder, they go head-to-head as far as shuffling. And this deck, it's one of my smaller ones, so I do not have small hands. I have large hands, if you want to call it that. The card, before I shuffle, the cardstock is a little flexible, but it's thin. It's not as flexible as, say, that Buffy the Vampire Slayer tarot deck. This is also not too tiny, so it doesn't bother me too much, but let's see. It's also not a deck that I've used in like a long time, so that's a little stiff. Not a little stiff, it's very stiff. But overhand is nice. It's a little slightly glossy, but I have had these for a long time, so I don't know, they've rubbed up against each other and other things. And like I said, indie, published and printed, so we'll see. The Sea Soul Journey cards. This feels like a very similar cardstock. Obviously, the card is bigger, as you can see. Like another third of the height and more there. But yeah, this feels like a similar cardstock, and I just realized I'm gonna have to put these back in order. You can do it, Lisha. You can do it. Similar thinness and similar stiffness. Oh no, it's slightly more flexible. I think though, because of the size, it makes it easier for me to bend them back for the riffle there. Because otherwise it feels similarly thick. I don't use this deck for like shuffling purposes, or I haven't yet. Like I said, I've been pulling a card in the order that is given to us in the guidebook, and then just reading the information. I haven't been like using the cards. I think for this though, mainly because of the size, that makes it easier for it to shuffle for me. Sea Soul Journey wins that round. Okay, next up is favorite cards. So to make this quicker, I'm going to do that off screen and then show you the cards that were my favorite and tell you the numbers. It's a little hard to say exactly because these are kind of like this solar flare type of thing. I love me some color though, so we'll see. Okay, so I had 13 cards that I didn't like, fortunately, or I liked less, and these are the ones that I liked the most. It's like light flares, so, and then very minimum words on the bottom. I noticed something. So I've done a walkthrough of this deck because someone asked me to. This is the first version. I know that Jessica did another one. I never got that. I didn't know about it till way later, and then they're out of print, so this is an out of print deck. But I noticed, I try to pay attention to both the colors and the words at the same, like how they could be related. And like April, like those spring colors, I like that. The midnight, these dark purples and things like that. 6 months, I'm not exactly sure. The cards like this yesterday, where it's like the past, they have this like nostalgic blue to them. The winter gives winter vibes, September giving autumn vibes. In a jiffy, I was unsure about, but it makes me think of those like speedy delivery services. Here's an autumn card, so like similar but not the same. During a rainstorm gives those vibes. Dusk, first snow, similar but different from winter. I wasn't 100% sure about afternoon, but it's giving summer afternoon. March, kind of springy, a little bit of a thaw, a little bit of green and blue. Any moment now. I just like that creeping yellow. Here's another like past tense card, and you get these kind of nostalgic blues when the winds change. Never. I love warm tones, so, and one of the few cards with black in it. December. After You Die is pretty dark, which makes sense. January, spring. This is my favorite card in the deck, so why wouldn't I include it, right? It's just a random date, and I love the chaoticness of it. So yeah, I want to go through this deck again and look at group cards into the different categories. Next year is a different distant. Next equinox, maybe seeing some color similarities in themes across several. This just, tea time is peaceful. I'm like, you know what? Yeah. We can see has a nostalgic vibe at night, but not midnight, so not quite as dark as that midnight card. 1 hour, I just love the look of. This card also cracks me up. It's like, please stop asking, because I'm done answering. You may be wondering what I use this deck for. I don't, as I said. So these are the 47 out of the 60 cards that I really liked, and that bodes well for this deck. Let's look at Sea Soul Journeys, and I'll zoom out a bit. As I said, I will pick the favorites and then come back and show you them. Okay, so there were only 8 cards in here that I liked a little bit less. I will say that this is a deck I love all the imagery of, so it's not simply that, because all 48 would just be in my favorite pile. But I tried to look at it as I haven't done before, and the imagery, does it fit with the keyword and phrase on the card? Does it make sense to me just as is without having to read the guidebook or anything like that? It's so gorgeous. I feel like I'll be here all day. And yes, there are 4 different backs for this card, for this deck, I mean. Yeah, I feel like I will be here all day just saying, oh my god, that's gorgeous. Oh my god, that's gorgeous. I love this for stretch. I just felt like those 8 cards could have tried a little bit harder. But out of 48, that's not bad. This one, at first glance, you think, what? But may you shift and transform. Water does that. It'll wear away at rock until it goes where it wants to go, and yes, but this is adorable. Say less, right? Amazing. This is why this could have been. However, not the same, but similar goes for, sorry for bumping the camera. The only time will tell Oracle, in that there's not so much difference in the card art that I drastically dislike some cards more than others. I think while I was going through, the yellows didn't pull me as much, but otherwise they were great. So that leaves 40 cards that I loved from this deck, which, after doing some math, 40 out of 48, or it says 47 out of 60, and the Sea Soul Journeys deck comes out on top, which means it won 2 challenges in a row, and that is the deck that wins this match number 5. Stay tuned for a quick look at a 3-card reading in the end if you would like to see that, because I'm really curious about these. But for now, we're going to move on to round number 6. Okay guys, we're back with 2 new decks for round number 6. That is between the 14th place Money Magic Manifestation cards and the 6th place Antique Anatomy Tarot. If you're looking at this like that doesn't look right, I recently posted a video about this deck, and yes, I don't plan on showing it a whole ton on this channel until I get my official version. But yeah, you can go check that out. For purposes of this challenge, this goes fairly quickly, I think. I hope. Anyway, so these 2 decks are going head to head. Wild as that is, let's zoom in. Okay, so 2 of my smallest decks. This is literally the smallest deck I have. This is an indie published deck, the 1st edition from Ethany Dawn. You know Ethany, right? And the only manifestation deck that I have, the Money Magic Manifestation deck. There is a second edition where the cards are slightly bigger. I know they're definitely wider. I'm unaware if they're taller. I didn't feel like it was necessary to get another one. Didn't come with a guidebook or anything like that. Doesn't need one, but it also didn't come with a box or anything like that. So these are pretty beat up. I have used them, but not as often or consistently as I want to. This is one of the older decks in my collection. And yeah, I just barely use it. Now, this guy is new. Older than some of the ones you've already seen, but new to me as of last spring or summer, I forget. And wow, I only do this when I have readings I need to go over. Yes. This is smaller. This is based off of the mass market edition of the Antique Anatomy Ephemeral edition by Claire Goodchild. So if you're going to buy it, that's who you should buy it from, or the mass market version. And honestly, I think these cardstocks are pretty similar. It's just I don't have small hands, so these cards look quite ridiculous. So let's shuffle. They're pretty stiff, but I don't use them often. This is not too bad. There are 48 of these, by the way. I had to look it up. That shuffles pretty nicely in the overhand, even though they're damaged from my use and neglect. It's pretty smooth sailing. Now for these guys, let's shuffle. Ooh, they're more bendy. Fools is a little bit more comfortable. I mean, the bigger size makes it easier for me to riffle shuffle with them, because I can bend them, but I can feel them wanting to bend. I thought it would be a similar stiffness, but no. I barely use these, and yeah. So surprisingly, the Antique Anatomy is going to win the shuffle challenge. Next up is favorite cards, and we'll come back and show you what those are. They're quick. Okay, so this is the deck I was really concerned about with this favorite cards section. These are either all favorites or all not, because there is not a lot of variety. All of the affirmations on here are great. The butterflies, it doesn't matter. A lot of them are repeated, and there doesn't seem any purpose to why that particular butterfly would be on that card. Like there's one of them talking about being large and possibly taking up space, but it's not one of the bigger butterflies, if that makes sense. So I don't know what to say. I knew this when I got the deck. It's all about the words, and they do what they do. So it's once again an unfair comparison, and I kind of wanted that in this throughout this challenge, but the other deck is a tarot deck with different images on each card. So the odds. I mean, I really do like the deck. So, oh, here we go. I am ready to play big, and there are bigger butterflies. So, I don't know. 'Tis what it is. There's a variety of phrases on here. Some of them can seem redundant, but I can see the differences. So I don't know. It's just like on a not great day, I might be like, this is the same thing. On a great day, I'd be like, oh yes, I see the nuance and the difference in that phrasing. It talks about abundance, wealth, money, directly business, clients, dealing with your money mindset, if you will, attraction, abundance, manifesting, and I'll sprinkle with a little self-love. So that's the flip through this whole deck. How can the Antique Anatomy Tarot possibly beat that? I don't know. But I'm going to go through and pick out my favorites and get back to you guys. Okay, so out of 78 cards, there's only 4 I don't like. But that's 4 more than the Money Magic Manifestation cards. So I guess technically... And it's not that I don't like them. Visually, they're great, I think. I just don't know exactly the connection. The 7 of Rods. Rods or Wands. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what's happening in a lot of this deck, but this one, the 8 of Swords, I think I just can't remember. Something about the way these guys are situated is rubbing me the wrong way. The 5 of Rods. Oh, no, I'm not going over these. Okay. These 4, but I can still really like them a lot. Like, visually, the flowers are giving. Like, I don't think I was ever drawn to the original Antique Anatomy without the ephemera of the flowers here. I love these elixirs, especially when you look closely to see what's written on the bottles. A lot of these have symmetry. I just, visually appealing, even though I don't know what the hell I'm looking at exactly. So in that sense, these 4 still, I feel really weird about just saying it's the Money Magic Manifestation. I'm gonna call it a tie for both because I honestly was trying to find reasons for, pulling cards from this deck. And it was easier to do so that with the Money Magic Manifestation cards. So in that sense, we're going to move on to the Sudden Death Elimination 3-card reading. I don't know how this is going to go. As a reminder, I'm doing issue, don't do this, do this. And starting with the Money Magic Manifestation cards. Let's see what I... Okay, issue. I am abundantly supported by the universe. Don't do this. I am attracting abundant people into my life. Do this. Today money flows to me effortlessly. So this can be seen as, alright, I want to be supported, manifesting support from the universe in my abundance. It's not focusing on, it's like, don't focus on bringing abundant people into my life, but about money flowing effortlessly, which I feel that. I got enough people in my life, love them all, but I don't need a sudden influx of a bunch of people. I just need a sudden influx of a bunch of money. I think that's what it's saying. So let's pull cards for the Antique Anatomy Tarot. Okay, the issue or situation, issue is, I believe, what we were using before. Okay, that works. Okay. Sorry, I hit the camera again. The moon. Oh, interesting. Interesting. There's the back of the skull. The don't do this card is, the 6 of elixirs. Which I find fascinating. 6 of elixirs. Elixirs are cups. And then don't do this. It's the hangman. Okay, rest. Okay, let me just. For rekindling love, for past life regression, for uncovering secrets, for encouraging comfort, something, for promoting harmony. Interesting. Like I said, I really love the elixir suit for this. I think I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. And then it's like, don't look back, past feelings, look at things from a different perspective. I guess that makes sense. They both kind of do, but I feel like this surprisingly takes more work. So it is going to the money manifestation cards anyway. How did you just do? All I can say is I'm tired. And if the money manifestation cards won in that last 3-card challenge and the antique anatomy card lost, that means there's a loss and a win for both and then a tie in the middle. So shouldn't there be more to this situation? Yes. Yes, there should be. And there will be. Thankfully, I have watched some of Crescent Dream Tarot's videos and saw that she has come across the situation herself, where there's a tie after 3 rounds. So, that being said, the tiebreaker is to pull a card from the bottom of each deck and see which is better, a better reader, I guess. So, from Money Manifestation, I am all I need to be successful. Well, yes, I am. And from the Antique Anatomy, we have the World. I don't even know. What is this? They feel like they go together. There's not much I can say about this without. Oh my goodness. I like that it has the greens and yellows on this. Like I said, they can be read together. A new cycle begins. Yeah. Like, what would you say? Who won this? I might go back to the middle round and like give it to Money Magic manifestation cards because it's not working for me. That means surprise. So guys, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell. Our next video will have the last 2 games of the Sweet 16, round 1 of this Tarot March Madness. We're gonna wrap it up, find out the last 2 who will be moving on to the Elite 8. Who will it be? let's find out. And if you have not, the votes, the polls are up on my community post section or post section. So go check that out. And links in the description to everything I've mentioned, including a 10% off discount code to my Etsy shop where I make all natural bath and body products for magical and mundane purposes, as well as offer tarot and oracle card readings. There's also a link to my Patreon, where there is a free tier, and I have blog posts about tarot and oracle cards as well as other topics. So you can go ahead and sign up for that. You also get, news about discounts and other stuff. So, guys, thank you as always so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.